So will the stimulus check save you from the housing crash?
Save me, Jesus the genie!
So I'm getting emails and comments of individuals saying, Orlando, we're going to get a stimulus check and the stimulus check is going to save the housing market. And I'm here to tell you that's not going to happen. I am not against or for or whatever for a stimulus check, but I just want to tell you guys the stimulus check era is over. It really is over. And here's the thing. I want you to watch the rest of the video. And the reason why we have some issues with people believing that the stimulus check is going to save them in a housing crunch right now. A lot of times they believe the reason why the housing market is the way that it is because of the pandemic. We know that the government came in and stepped in and printed up all this money, and this is the reason why we're even in this inflation area right now. You know, the high gas prices, you know, high rents, you know, high grocery bills, all of those things, labor shortages, all of that stuff was caused by the pandemic. And the government printed money. And we know this, right? Those same people who maybe benefited from all of that money being printed, those same people are saying, we need stimulus to go ahead and get out of this property tax debt that we're in, so I don't have to go out and get a loan to pay my property taxes. Or, you know what? The house that I overpaid for, I don't have any more money, so I need more stimulus money to pay down some of this debt. Or maybe I've got some credit card debt that I didn't take care of, and I decided to buy an overpriced home, and I need some stimulus money to take care of that. So I wonder, where are people getting this information from when it says about getting a stimulus check? Well, a lot of times they're going online and seeing articles like this where it says summer stimulus, thousands of Americans will get $1,400 in stimulus checks in the mail in July. Are you one of them? And it just continues to go on and on and on and on. And a lot of times there's like these little small, I'm talking about small nuggets of information from a bill that's already been passed, 4 times over, and it's, senior citizens who live in Iowa, who live in this county, in this district will receive $400 for XYZ. And every time there's some free money being sent out, everybody calls it a stimulus check, guys. But I'm here to tell you guys, when it comes to this housing market, there is no government that's going to stop a recession or a crash of the housing market by propping it up with more money that the government is going to be printing. And if you think that that is going to be the case, I think you're in for a rude awakening. You will be waiting forever. And I don't want you to be waiting on a stimulus check, waiting to think that that's going to save you for whatever issues that you have in this housing market. Let it be paying your property taxes, paying your credit card bills, paying anything else. It's not going to save you. You have to step out on your own and take care of the issues yourself. You need to start yourself an emergent savings account. You need to figure out a way to pay your property taxes. And if you're trying to get into this housing market, just stay out of it for right now and work on yourself, getting your credit together and things of that nature, and not putting yourself in a predicament where you have to get a $2,000 stimulus check just to get approved or just to get money for down payment or whatever the reason is. It's not for everybody. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but I'm here to let you know the government, they're not going to send more stimulus checks to continue to push up inflation. That would be crazy. They will not print more money, guys, to push up inflation because we already have to get control of inflation. And how are we going to get control of inflation, guys? We are going to get control of it by raising up interest rates. Mortgage rates have continued to go up, guys, and they're going to continue to go up. I'm predicting that it will go up to 9-10%, probably get into the double digits. But let's just say we don't, and I'm going to be really conservative. We know interest rates will probably get to around 7 to 8% on a really, really conservative side. Now, that's with 4 more interest rate hikes that the Fed is going to do. What is that going to look like when it comes to inventory? What is that going to look like when it comes to prices? Will we get to a 30, 40, 50% cut in prices dropping? I just did a video where I showed Boise, Idaho, price cuts are at 40%. The amount of price cuts, not the actual price cut, the amount of price cuts is up 40%, guys. Places like Miami and all around the coast are up 20 to 30%. And that's with the small rate increase that the Fed has already done. What is going to happen when we do 4 rate increases? It's gonna get bananas, guys. It's gonna get crazy out here. So you have to be prepared for it. A lot of you guys are thinking that the government's gonna come in and swoop in and save the day and correct the housing market. But just the other day, I was getting flooded with emails and comments saying, Orlando, you know what? You're wrong. The housing market is going to continue to do 20, 30% year over year. A recession? Are you crazy? There's not a recession, Orlando. You're nuts. A recession isn't going to happen. And you know why? Because there is low inventory. Low inventory is going to save the housing market. Nothing's going to happen. And since we have low inventory is going to make it continue to rise 20, 30%. So if you think a recession is going to happen, you're out of your mind. But I'm here to tell you, a recession is going to happen, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. There's going to be continued mortgage rate increases, which is going to drive down demand, guys. It is going to drive down, it's already happening, of people applying for mortgages to purchase a home because their purchasing power has been cut in half or cut by 70%. Who wants that? And then who think about it when it continues to rise up, and if it gets to double digits, it's going to be, it's going to be really bad, really bad. And then these same people come back to me and say, Orlando, what a stimulus check. We need a stimulus check. But you just said that the housing market is going to, do well by itself. Now you're asking for the government's help to save the housing market? Which way do you want it? Housing market saved by itself? Government save the housing market? I can just promise you this, guys. They're not going to do a bailout of the housing market like they did a bailout in 2008 of the banks. It's not going to happen. They're just going to continue to raise interest rates and let the market do what the market does. So I know what you're thinking. You think, Orlando, if we're not going to get a stimulus check to help us, pay property taxes or take care of credit card bills or do whatever we have to do to save us from this crazy housing market, what should I do? And the only thing that I'm trying to tell individuals is that if you're going to jump into this market, you better understand if you have job stability, if you have an emergency fund, if you have a budget, if all of those things are laid out and you have all of that stuff taken care of, and you still want to get into this crazy housing market, make sure you do your research. Make sure that you really, really want to overpay, and you really, really, really have to buy a house right now, and you really, really can't stand on the sidelines for 6 months or more to kind of see how this all shakes out, and that you're willing to take a loss. And if you're willing to do all of that, after I just said all of that, then go right ahead. Go ahead and jump into the housing market, and see how it shakes out. But I am telling most individuals, before you get into the housing market, just sit out and wait it out. If you can rent, with all the evidence that I've given you guys in previous videos, with all the evidence that you can go read online and Google yourself, you can see that this is not the time to jump in the market right now. It is better to wait it out, stay in the rental market right now, and don't depend on the government to give you a stimulus check of $2,000. That's not going to save anything. I mean, let's just talk about it. $2,000, what is that going to do for like your property taxes? It probably won't even make a dent in it. We're talking about $300,000 to $400,000, $500,000 homes people are buying that are overpriced. $2,000, heck, $3,000 won't help you. And just like I did a video about people needing roommates to even make their mortgage, if you need the government to give you a $2,000 check just so that you can survive owning a home, probably owning a home wasn't for you at this particular time, and it's probably best if you wait at the end of the day. Once again, guys, I hope you got value out of this content. I'm gonna need you to watch this next video here. It will help you learn about this crazy housing market and jump into your first rental property. Also, check in my description. I have a membership program along with some useful links on getting free credit reports and whatnot. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.